We're back. Welcome to Rugby Ground Reviews. But before we kick things off, I do need to answer the question, Benny, where the hell have you been for the past 3 years? Well, for those of you who remember our original Rugby Ground Reviews, I went down to the Ospreys. Yeah, it turns out they were hiring and someone mentioned the review I'd done. One thing led to another, and I ended up getting a job with the team. I had 3 amazing seasons with the region, but as you can probably appreciate, it left very little time for catch-22 shenanigans. Got myself a new job in the summer, which means I get my weekends back, and that means we can bring back the old ground reviews. Right, for those not in the loop, Rugby Ground Reviews is a show where we travel around the country watching rugby games and grading the experience. We focus on 5 categories: game quality, atmosphere, facilities, refreshments, and the cost. All the categories are ranked out of 10 before we add up all the scores and give the whole experience a grade. Simple. Today's trip, we're heading westward down the M4 towards Llanelli as we visit the Scarlets. A bit about today's side. The Scarlets were founded back in 1873 as Llanelli RFC, but in 2003, the club made the transformation into the Scarlets as part of the Welsh game going pro, creating regions to represent the old club system. In their time as a rugby side, the team from Llanelli have won 2 league titles in the now URC, hosted legends of the game like Stephen Jones and Jonathan Davis, and they even beat the All Blacks back in the 70s. It comes as no surprise their biggest rivals are their cross-Lucca counterparts, the Ospreys. Now, I'd like to assure everyone that as an Ospreys fan and ex-Ospreys employee, I should be keeping things completely impartial for the sake of this video. Also, my Catch-22 colleague Daniel is an ex-Scarlets employee, and he'll give me an absolute kick-in if I show any bias against the Scarlets. Right, here we go. Junction 43 on the M4 and on to Llanelli. You can tell it's game day, the traffic is absolutely rammed. At least I'm skipping the queues by being in this lane. Oh, right. Been about 20 minutes now and we've barely moved. I'm clearly not dealing with this very well. Finally making some headway now, and I've just seen my first sign for the Scarlets. You know what? At this rate, we should still make it with kick-off with plenty of time. Oh, never mind. Right, managed to reroute myself to Llanelli to avoid that last bit of traffic. It's about 10 minutes till kick-off, so we're probably going to be cutting it fine. Swinging a right down this road to hopefully find a spot to park up. You know what? Find myself a tidy spot to park only a few streets away from the ground. On foot now, as I follow the fans heading towards the stadium. Oh, fair play. I knew I was close, but I can actually see the floodlights from the car. I'll take that. Into the ground with about 5 minutes to spare. Just need to hunt out one of the ticket offices. Oh, nice statue of Scarlets icon Ray Gravel. He's one of the greats of Welsh rugby. Here we go. Better hope the queue isn't too long. Not too shabby. At this rate, I might even be able to get some food before kickoff. That'll be £15. Yeah, I don't know if I'm the only one who does this, but does this go through your head every single time you have to make a sidestep through the crowd?
One person has license to break that motion. It's Shane Williams, the lead.
Yeah, maybe it's just me. Bit of a queue at the North Terrace entrance, but in fairness, it's moving pretty rapidly. Now, on to one of the best sounds in the world. Absolutely love that noise. Into the ground, and I give you Parker Scarlets. First impressions? Yeah, I like it. Has the feel of a top quality stadium, but still has a couple of small perks. It does feel modern yet intimate, and even has a standing section like the old stadiums of the past. Yeah, no time for a burger yet, as I just managed to catch the home team running out onto the pitch. Now, before kickoff, we have a moment's applause for Eddie Butler, one of the legendary Welsh players and commentators. He passed away recently, so we pay our respects.
Which will end with the referee's whistle. Diolch yn fawr.
And we're off for Parker Scarlets. Some early promise from the home side as they use some good ball and hand skills to move out the pitch. Nah, screw it. I haven't had any lunch and I can't wait till half-time. Not something I usually do, but I'm off to get a burger during gameplay. Tell you what, I'm tempted by the scloddy and a dippy eye. That's chips and dips in case you can't read. But no, I'm going to go for the beef and bun. Here we go. 1 cheeseburger. That's £4.50. Early impressions? Yeah, it looks alright. Smells good and the bun looks fluffy, but cold grated cheese on the top. Burgers are always best when the cheese is melted through. Also picked up a bottle of Pepsi. That's £2.30. Bloody hell. Alright, the sun's been playing havoc with my phone cameras, so I perched myself down here, away from the atmosphere, but plenty of room to spread out. Just in time as I managed to catch the opening try of the game, and it goes to Ulster. Refreshment update. The Pepsi is Pepsi. The burger, actually not too bad. Goes from bad to worse for Scarlets as Ulster score again. Hey, look what it is. It's Ross Harris on TV duty. Eyes firmly on the notes and not distracted by the game behind him. He's a pro. Ulster just seen the Dragons hooker and ex-Ulsterman Bradley Roberts. Wonder who he's supporting today. Scarlets in need of a response to get back into this game. Cue Jonathan Fox-Davis. Ladies and gentlemen, our sit-down moment of the day. And it's worked out well for the Scarlets' second try. Yeah, it turns out I'm just one of those blokes who gets distracted by planes in the sky, just wondering where they're going. Well, I can tell you that's a Virgin Atlantic Airbus heading from London to Orlando. Thank you very much, Flight Radar 24. Oh dear, it looks like a nasty injury to Aaron Sexton here. Look at the big screen behind me, Sam Costello takes him out in the air by the looks of it. In fairness, Costello is actually looking for the ball, but he takes him out nonetheless. Hey, look, the refs come over to say hi. Might just be the big telly behind me. Alright, no other option for this one. It's a yellow card for Sam Costello. Ulster make advantage of the extra man to take the lead once again. Right, the concourse is calling me, so I'm skipping the conversion to get some halftime grub. You know what? Thought the burger would do the job, but chips and dips are calling me here. One portion of chips. Oh, let me try that again. One portion of chips, that's £3.50. Early impressions of these chips? Banging. Nice and fluffy with a crispy coating. Bit of Tommy K to go with it as well. So I'm driving today, so it's time for my one and only beer of the day. That's £4.50 for the Heineken. Just seen a bunch of Ulster fans go into the seated area and check, so I'm going to try and sneak past the stewards and get into the seated area. Right, going for my backstory in case someone asks where I'm going. Okay, so Ulster, that's Derry Girls. It was nothing to do with me, Michelle. I can't believe you're asking for my ticket. Right, no one's checked. I think I'm good. Thank God, because that accent was shocking. View from the top. Yeah, not too shabby up here. Here we go for the second half. Out come the Scarlets. So in true Catch-22 fashion, I missed a shot while drinking beer. It's an absolute worldie interception for Fafita, so I have to actually use a clip from the actual game to show you this one. It's lush.
And they've started the second half like they started the first. Lots of purpose. Oh, he's gone!
Fafita gets a right hand to it. Oh, ball in two hands, please. But he's under the sticks.
It's a nice response from the Scarlets, but Ulster clearly had the edge on this one. And that's another try from the Ulsterman. Unfortunately, my battery is running low, so I've not caught much of the second half, but here's full time. Not a huge surprise, but Ulster take the victory at Parker Scarlets. Shall we rate the experience? I think we should. So let's start with game quality. In fairness, it was a belter. Plenty of tries for some good flowing rugby, the lead exchanged a few times and it kept things interesting, but it ultimately went the way of Ulster. Can't fault either side too much. Really entertaining, so this one's going to get an 8 out of 10. On to atmosphere, and we can't ignore the lack of attendance. It's a reoccurring thing in Welsh rugby at the moment, with teams unable to pack their stadiums fully outside of the local derby games. In fairness, the fans in attendance did make a song and dance where they could. Some nice noise from the away fans as well, with Ulster coming down in force. It's not bad considering the crowd size, so I'm going to give this one a 6 out of 10. Let's talk facilities. A tidy ground for the level we're at. The temptation is to label this as a generic modern sports ground similar to the Liberty Stadium or the Medeski when we visited London Irish a few years ago. But this ground's a bit different. It's got some quirky characteristics like the standing section in the North Stand. It's not as impressive as the Liberty Stadium in my opinion, but it's got more charm and personality. Therefore I'm going for a 7 for Parker Scarlets. On to refreshments. The Pepsi and beer, can't go too wrong. Not the greatest selection of alcohol, but it ticks the box for a standard sports ground. The burger was decent, a good bun, a tasty patty, but it wasn't hot enough to melt that grated cheese, so that bumps it down a little bit. But the chips, hot, fluffy, and with a bit of crunch, absolutely brilliant. Scarlets, you'll get an 8 for this one. And finally, the cost. The total cost of this one comes to £29.30. That's for a ticket, burger, chips, Pepsi, and a beer. I was actually pleasantly surprised at the ticket cost of this one. I've seen a pro-level rugby game with plenty of tries and come away full and refreshed with some tidy rugby grub. Considering some pro games can cost more than £30 for the ticket alone, this is pretty decent value for money. I'm going 8 out of 10. So that's a total score of 37 out of 50, but what does that mean for the grade? It's our highest score to date on the channel, and the Scarlets get a B+. Thank you so much for watching Catch-22 Rugby. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please leave a like, and if you want to see more, subscribe to our channel. We've got a few more ground reviews coming up soon, so keep notified for our latest uploads. I've been Benny Griffiths, and we'll see you in the next one.